All right, we're about shit. I don't even know. We're a few days after UFC 310. I figured I wasn't gonna make like a full recap video. I'd rather just tell you guys what I think should happen next for divisions and stuff like that, and I'll talk about the fights and what I thought about it and whatnot too. Because why not? Let's get into it. First, Alexandre Pantoja, he's kind of running out of people to fight. Like, he's just running through people. It's, like, really terrifying. So, I immediately thought that he should go up to 135 because the way that he ran through Asakura was, like, terrifying. He didn't get in much trouble. Obviously, maybe that flying knee early in the fight, but I said earlier, he could get caught with anything. He's not going to go out. He got flying kneed in the skull, and he was completely fine, and he shot a double leg and landed it. So he's running out of people to fight. I'm gonna give him really the last guy that he hasn't fought, and that's Kai Kara-France. Obviously, he lost to Amir, whatever his name is, that inbred. I thought he won that fight. Obviously, he just knocked out Steve Erceg. Pantoja couldn't put Erceg away. Kai did. I think that makes sense. I look at his loss to Amir as a win. Obviously, he got liver kicked when he fought Brandon Moreno, but I think that win over Steve Erceg holds a lot of value, and Pantoja is running out of contenders. I like this matchup. This is the only way to go, other than after this. If Pantoja wins, he's going to have to go up to 135. No one else can fight him. He's beaten everybody. Next up, we've got Kai Asakura. I'm going to give him Steve Erceg. I don't think he should be fighting any of the top 5 guys after that. He was unranked. It was his debut, but I do think he needs to solidify himself as like a true contender. Obviously, Erceg just got knocked out by Kai. This could be like the co-main event of a pay-per-view. This is like they'd be standing the whole time. They'd get straight to it, like crazy action off the rip. Simple. I would pay for 2 pay-per-views to watch this. Like, I'd pay 100 and I don't even know how much pay-per-views are anymore. Actually, that's not true. Dana, if you're watching this, I pay for all of the pay-per-views. I've paid for every single one. Next up, we have Cyril Gane. He lost. Plain and simple. Volkov beat him. One of the worst robberies we've seen. Maybe not one of the worst, but it was a pretty bad robbery. Volkov beat him pretty clearly in my eyes, but that does make him the top contender, assuming that Mr. John Jones, assuming he relinquishes the belt and Tom will be the champ. I'm assuming that's what's going to happen. This is the title fight to make. Cyril apparently has turned this fight down about 2 or 3 times. He has no choice now. Tom will put him away in a minute, and we'll move on with our lives. And this robbery won't affect Gane in any more positive ways. Next up, we've got Alexander Volkov. The robbery was so bad. Like, that's his career. His career is pretty much over now. Like, he was on a win streak, and now, like, he's got the loss on his record. He's gonna have to fight down. I say give him one of the surging contenders, Jailton Almeida. I think Jailton Almeida and Volkov, that'll be a spot for the top 5, somewhere in the top 5, as well, where the winner will be put. I think that'll set up the contention for the belt. That's really it. I feel bad for Volkov. I feel so bad. He clearly won the fight. I don't understand. Never mind. I'm not even going to get into it. Volkov got robbed. It was really, really bad. I feel awful, but, it's how it is. So, Jailton Almeida, Volkov. That's what I think should happen next. Next up, we got Bryce Mitchell. Because obviously he got, like, borderline killed against Josh Emmett. So, and then he fought Kron Gracie, who lost twice in a row and then gets a ranked contender in Bryce Mitchell. It just didn't make sense to me. But Bryce Mitchell shouldn't be fighting too far up the rankings. He needs to fight someone who's coming off a loss, who's kind of right in the top 10 range. So I'm going to give him Calvin Kattar. Calvin Kattar obviously got ragdolled by Aljo for 3 rounds at UFC 300. I think this fight makes sense. Both guys not on a ton of momentum, coming off of like crazy wins or losses. I think this is the only right matchup to make for Bryce Mitchell. Even though he didn't really prove much against Kron Gracie, I was hoping this was going to happen because fuck Kron Gracie. I called it, by the way. I said Kron Gracie sucks, and he did. All he did was pull guard for 3 rounds, and he finally got his head smashed in. Kron Gracie fucking blows. No Jones. But Bryce Mitchell, Calvin Kattar, let's do it. That's the only thing that makes sense. Shavkat Rakhmonov. Jesus Christ. I really hope that he loses as many fans as I think he did for this fight against Ian Gary, because the thing with him was, we got a guy from Asia who is, or the Middle East, I guess, who is not a stereotypical crotch sniffer. He proved us all wrong. And like we need to stop rewarding people with holding against the fence and failed takedowns, and like Brian Battle did. Jesus Christ, lost another fan there. I'm not a Brian Battle fan anymore. I'm not a Shavkat fan anymore either. It was embarrassing. And frankly, because I am going to give him Belal, because that's the only thing that makes sense. It's the only thing. It is going to happen. Shavkat didn't take much damage because he was just dry humping Ian on the fence for 20 minutes. I think Belal will run through him. If that's how Shavkat comes out against, like he did against Ian Gary, if he does that against Belal, he's going to get ragdolled for 5 rounds. I'm not a fan of Shavkat. I thought it was fucking embarrassing what he did in there. And the fact that Ian Gary was even able to have success while being dry humped on the cage, I think Shavkat's overrated, frankly. After that, I take more positives from what Ian Gary did than what Shavkat did. So, on to the next fight. Ian Gary. I'm going to give him the winner of, or loser, one of the fighters that comes from this Saturday, either Colby or Joaquin. I'm going to make a predictions video on that. I think Joaquin's going to win. If he doesn't, then we get Ian Gary Colby, and we get to see Ian Gary fucking smoke Colby Covington. But anyways, I think Ian Gary's a lot better than people realize. I hope a lot of people understand that now after this past Saturday. And I said the fight was closer than people thought. Ian Gary clearly lost 3-2 because Shavkat, apparently he likes humping legs. I don't know. I take more positives from his performance than I do Shavkat's. So next up we got another inbred, Movsar Evloev, which actually was a great fight. Him and Aljo. Diego Lopez, title contender, or title eliminator, rather. Only makes sense. I wouldn't give him Ilya right away. That doesn't make any sense to me. Nothing else, really, for that. I think this is the only thing that makes sense. It's a rematch that everyone wants to see. Diego Lopez took the first Movsar fight on, 1 or 2 weeks' notice or something, and he almost submitted Movsar a few times, so I think it'd be fun. Next up, we got my man Aljo. I actually had him winning the fight against Movsar. I had it scored 2-1. I gave the third round to Aljo because he did control Movsar for a good little over 2 minutes. But I think the judges saw that Movsar threw a little more ground and pound, so they gave him the round, which kind of, I understand. It could have gone either way, but I'm going to give him Lerone Murphy. I think Lerone Murphy's he's moving up the rankings. He just beat Dan Ige. I think Aljo does need to fight down after that. He's not working his way up. He's going to have to fight down probably just one time, and then he can start fighting up again. But yeah, tried to make this one short for you guys. I need to take these off. They're annoying me. Let me know what you think. I'm going to try and make a predictions video too. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, this is what I think. Let me know if I'm a fucking idiot or I missed something. I missed a possible matchup or something. I don't know. Let me know. I'm out.